Welcome back to our Week 11 NFL Bet Show, where we go through and give you our favorite picks, our three favorite picks, including our lock of the week. Coming off another strong week, minus me, everyone went 2-1. I went 1-2, and then we went 2-2 on our locks. Still solid on the year, great overall record, and we're going to try to continue that for the rest of the year, including Week 11. So starting us off, who wants to give us their first pick?
Well, Nick, you going or am I?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. First off, we see the Chicago Bulls. It's the Chicago Bears plus 10. This Lions team has got. It's one of the team. They're one of the stories of the season for sure. Their offense has been awesome to watch. A lot of fun. They've got that dual threat running back in Gibbs, and then a little bit of thunder and lightning with Montgomery. Goff is looking good. We know he plays well at home in the dome. I just think this number is way too big. I think the public is extremely high on the Lions right now, and we saw that their defense is very beatable. And I'm not saying the Bears are going to win this game, but I think they cover the 10. We get Justin Fields back most likely. I don't think it's been announced officially yet as of Tuesday, but yeah, I think the Bears cover this number. I think
right after the resurgence from Badgett.
I don't know if I'd call it the resurgence, but
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, no.
Had to test out the waters. Wanted to see what you thought.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm also on the Bears. Justin Fields should be back. Too many points in divisional game. They already have the Panthers high pick in the draft, which is expected to be high. It will be. And I still think that the Bears are trying to win games down the stretch. I don't think they are looking for, they're not looking to tank. They still want to see what they have in Justin Fields. And, if he goes on a little bit of a winning streak, maybe they use that high pick instead of a quarterback, they just go with someone like Marvin Harrison and just ride Justin Fields. In addition to that, again, like you mentioned, Alex, the Lions are a very public team right now. People are going to see this matchup and lean heavily in the Lions' favor. But I mean, the Bears' defense has quietly been one of the most probably underrated in the entire NFL. Their rush defense, especially, which we know that's how the Lions like to attack. And as a 10-point favorite, I could see them trying to rely on the run game and just not get going. And even their pass defense has been, is definitely their weakness, but it's been better than people think. So, and since week 4, the Bears are letting an average of 18 points a game. So I'm on the Bears here. I'm taking them plus 10.
Love it. All of the sharp money, early money is on the Bears as well for what it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way it's gonna fall under 10 as the week goes on. It's already at under 10 at a lot of books, but like I saw BetMGM, you can still get 10 on a few others. So just get it while you can.
Detroit's 3-1 as home favorites against the spread. So good luck, boys.
Okay, well, yep.
All right, my first pick is the Nick Chubb revenge game. Cleveland Browns against the Steelers. Brownies had a great second half, beat the Ravens last week. So we're a momentum wagon right now. Deshaun Watson, second half last week, I don't think he missed a pass. So great to see him paying off his exorbitant price tag for once. But I think this is a motivational game for the Brownies. Like, obviously the Steelers are a hated rival of ours, but they took out Nick Chubb last game. So I think they're going to lay it all on the line. I like them to cover -4. And, the Browns are perfect as home favorites this year too against the spread, 2-0. So I'm going to keep riding that trend and get a big win against a division rival. And this division, I think everyone's got at least a 6-3 record, except for the Bengals. So, it's neck and neck, and there's no playing around. So Browns are always good for a good Steelers smackdown.
The Browns
mind
really
it.
only played 2 home games. That's crazy.
As favorites.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Mhm.
That would have been nutty if they've only played 2 home
I
games.
was like
That would be
so
crazy.
confused.
I'm sure they would be calling the
Just check out the rest of our schedule too. We have some pretty easy games. So I like our playoff chances if we could get past this division game.
Yeah, I mean, if Deshaun
Yeah.
keeps looking like that second half, you guys got a good shot with that defense.
Yeah.
Hey, they
We still got like the Bears, the Jets.
Okay.
I mean, Houston, I don't know. They're not an easy win anymore.
It's not
so-
a super easy schedule. Might look like Broncos are going to be tough.
No, Broncos are
Uh,
good. But like I think the Rams
Rams in LA with Stafford, the Jaguars, the Bears and the Jets are the easiest, then the Texans in Texas and Bengals. So it's not an easy schedule by any means.
Okay, well let's pump the brakes on the Broncos being a good team here. They've won a
It's
couple
not an
games in a
easy
row.
matchup.
I didn't say it was an easy matchup, but saying they're a good team from Nick's mouth is just kind of they didn't.
Oh, no,
deserve-
I agree. I agree with Nick. They're a good team.
I mean the Bills
They're just
beat
knocked off
themselves
the
that
Chiefs.
game.
They're on a
I'll give them
win
the Chiefs.
streak.
I'll give them the Chiefs. I'll give them that game. But the Bills beat themselves in that game, and I could care less what anyone else says. I mean, it was just a poor performance by the Bills. I mean,
Russ has
I don't
played
know,
great all
like,
year.
You say that too, but like, what are the odds that James Cook breaks that run and catches the fumble like right into it?
Yeah, there's some
into
things
his
that broke
Like
the
that's
Bills' way.
also really lucky. That should have been their 5th turnover. Like if they can't take care of the ball, they deserve to lose. That's part of the game, and they can't.
No,
figure
I
it out.
understand. I just said that the Bills beat themselves, and like with all the opportunities the Broncos had against a piss poor Bills defense, and they couldn't take advantage. I mean, that game should have been where it was. Broncos should have won that game by at least 2 touchdowns. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like they're getting better. Their defense is getting better. Everyone's getting better. But regardless, moving on to my pick here. I am taking the Baltimore Ravens minus the 3.5 at home against the limped in Bengals. The Ravens team is just it's an absolute wagon right now. I mean, they can't do anything wrong. I mean, two-headed running backs. You got Lamar Jackson, and then you have the Bengals offense who is severely banged up. Their defense is not that great. They're on the road playing against the Ravens. I understand it's a divisional game. Get that half point for being at home, which I don't really like. I might buy it down to 3 or just kind of wait, see what happens. Because I don't think it goes above that. We'll see. But yeah, I just think Baltimore is just a much better team than the Bengals right now.
They're
So
also weak as shit. The Browns beat them up. Like we were pushing them down the field 10 yards at a time. Like Njoku needed like 8 guys on him in order to go down. Jerome Ford couldn't be stopped. Like they're also kind of weak outside of a couple good linebackers. So
okay. Yeah. So, and then for your meaningless stat here for the Ravens, the Ravens are 4-2 ATS in the last 6 games played on Thursday night. So I will take that trend and move it to 5-2 on Thursday.
Not totally meaningless. I feel like
Those are great sample size.
Those are all Lamar games still, I'm sure.
Yeah. Still
Oh.
Lamar games.
Yeah, that's 6 game sample size.
Not
where
completely.
do you find these stats?
Don't worry about it.
You should carry.
He's got a
in-
guy. He's got a random
He's got a
stats,
stats
guy.
guy.
Meaningless stats guy.
All right. Second pick, Alex.
I'm gonna go last because Corey's, I think, feeding off of the same
Oh,
game.
okay.
Different pick, but same
All
game.
right.
Why
Well,
don't you
I
go
got
preview?
the Giants plus 10. So started with the Bears plus 10. Now we're moving to the Giants plus 10. Some ugly teams this week, but I don't care how bad the Giants are. The Washington Commanders should never be 10-point favorites against any team in the NFL. I mean, that's just absolutely crazy to me. It's still a divisional game. Yeah, DeVito is probably the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. I think everyone
Ever?
would agree with that.
Maybe ever.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, he's so bad. But I think they just ride Saquon heavily this game. You can attack the Commanders on the ground with their recent trades. they allow quite a few explosive plays as well. We saw it with Ramondre Stevenson. First game, they played without Chase Young, and Sweat had a break off a huge run. And then we saw a pass to Kenneth Walker go for like 70 yards for a touchdown. So they just allow these explosive plays to the running back position. And I just think they're going to be able to keep this game closer and like a lower scoring game with the Commanders. So, and I think the Giants defense will be able to get after Howell as well. I'm taking the points here. I mean, it's just crazy to me that the Commanders could be 10-point favorites.
Yeah, I think the Giants may win this game. Honestly, I think this is the game that they win to maybe hurt their number one chance to get the first pick. But I'll roll in here next because our next two picks from Nick and Alex roll into our locks. So I'm taking the Titans Jaguars AFC South rival under 40.5. Yeah, I mean, Tennessee's coming in with a rookie quarterback. He looked kind of like a rookie quarterback last week. I mean, his first game, he looked amazing. Second game looked bad. Yeah, third game, again, didn't look that great. And the Jaguars are becoming who I've been saying they've been all year, frauds. The Jaguars I don't know what's going on with their offense. Trevor Lawrence is playing horrible. They potentially just lost Zay Jones. I know he's kind of an outlier on that offense as kind of their third receiver, but I mean, still another passing option that they're losing. Calvin Ridley doesn't seem I don't know if he's not getting open. Trevor Lawrence not throwing the ball. Don't understand anything on that side of the field. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be an ugly AFC South game, probably like a 20-10 game, 20-17 game type of mentality. So yeah, I mean, I just think there's gonna be a lot of turnovers. Ultimately, I think Jacksonville probably wins. I mean, I hope they don't. I think I would hope that Tennessee probably take this one from them. But yeah, and for the meaningless stat for this game, the total has gone under in 6 of Jacksonville's last 7 games played in Week 11. So I will take that.
Oh my gosh! Where are you finding these? This is
amazing.
ridiculous.
That's so great.
In Week 11. I mean,
that's great.
Wasting time with those stats.
No, it's a trend.
No,
That's a good trend.
I'm
right,
a big fan of these stats, Corey. Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming.
I mean, for the bit, you can just keep them going because it's ridiculous what you find. But I'm glad you just really emphasize meaningless next time.
I clarify what I'm saying. I say meaningless.
I know,
stat.
but like instead of like
You get mad at me
meaningless
for
stat,
being
you should be like for
give me this
meaningless stat. Just really emphasize that word.
All right.
Pretty crazy. All right, with my second pick here, I'm going with Denver -2. They're on a 5-game win streak. They're heading back home after a big win in Buffalo. They look really good. I mean, Sean Payton obviously took a little bit of time to figure out his team, and he certainly has made the right adjustments. They're playing like a really good football team. The defense looks sound. Russell Wilson has been productive all year. And, he challenged these guys to be better, and they responded. So that's what you want to see from a new head coach. They're buying into the system now, and we've seen it the past 5 weeks pay off for them. So, the Vikings, I think they've had, some hype magic around Josh Dobbs, and they're also on a good win streak. But, I think that ends. I don't think Justin Jefferson's coming back this week, right? So
he might be playing.
He might, but
either way,
I don't think.
I think
worth the time.
Surtain can limit him, not take him out of the game, but limit him.
He'll be limited, I think, in his first game back.
Yeah. So, I think that could be. He's generally an X factor for them. So, I don't know. I love the Josh Dobbs story, but just kind of going with who I think is a better football team here and close to a pick 'em. So,
all right. For my second pick, I am going with the Kansas City Chiefs -2.5 against the Eagles at home in Arrowhead. Both teams coming off of a bye. love Andy Reid off a bye. Nothing against the Eagles here. I just think at home, under a field goal, we know all of the Patrick Mahomes ATS and straight up stats, whether it's at home or a favorite as a field goal or less. I think the Chiefs just get up for these types of games in a different way that they do, when they're playing a team like the Broncos who took them down. But so on top of that, the Eagles have one of the worst statistic secondaries in the entire league. And while Mahomes has been spreading the ball around, I think that Kelsey finally has a big breakout game here. And I just, at home off the bye, I can't bet against Mahomes ever under a field goal. So give me the Chiefs -2.5. I think this is going to be a great game. Finally get some primetime games that are going to be exciting.
I mean, that Eagles pass defense is highly suspect too.
Yeah.
So
I don't know about that, but
Do we know if Taylor Swift's going to be at this game for Travis Kelsey?
I don't know. I think
who
isn't she on
cares?
tour around the world.
She was just in Argentina. But
I was waiting for that meaningless stat, Corey.
I don't have that one. Well,
Ah.
I do have I do have one for this game, which will lead me into my lock of the week here. I am also on this game, not taking a side. I just want an exciting game, and exciting game means points in my eyes. So I am taking the over 46.5. I understand the Chiefs have a good defense. I just think that the Eagles offense matches up well in terms of being able to score points. And the Chiefs offense, I think, will absolutely just destroy the secondary of the Eagles. Maybe a bye week has helped the Eagles figure out what they're doing wrong. For their sake and their Super Bowl hopes, like that's what they're going to need. I mean, I don't know if they can rely on the pass rush. I mean, it kind of reminds me, their team kind of reminds me of the old Colts back in the day, was just, get up by points and just let their pass rush just, eat away and just get sacks. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of, because the Colts didn't have a good secondary during that Peyton Manning run for a lot of those years, and they just relied on Mathis and Freeney to get to the quarterback. But I think this is, again, I think it's just going to be a good point game, over 46.5. Definitely see that hitting. And so, yeah, this is a good stat here I got for you guys. It plays into the same thing kind of with the other teams, but you ready? Okay. The over in the Eagles, 4 last 5 games are gone over in November. So I like that stat to take that on the road to Kansas City. It just, the trends are really good. Though the trend that's going against them is the week 11 trend. The week 11 trend for them are 6 of their 7 games have gone under. So something's going to have to give here.
So Corey, what do we do? What do we do here?
Corey,
Corey,
can I
something?
let me try and persuade you here.
Okay.
When both teams are on extended rest, aka both teams either playing Thursday and then Sunday, or buys like this one, the under is 147-1 since 2018. And then on top of that, primetime unders this season are 30-7. That's 81% hit rate.
Wait,
on
do
under.
the first one again, because that one is kind of. Wait, say that first one.
So when both teams are coming off of extended rest, so either a bye or they played Thursday and then not until Sunday, so like 8+ days of rest. Since 2018, the under is 147-1.
No way.
Yeah, way.
But so 2 teams. So like, for example, the what?
So last week the 49ers and Jags went under, as well as was it the Colts have a bye this week. There was one other game.
See, they're actually that's to me, that's not as much of a meaningless stat as what Corey's throwing at. That could be an act, because
I'm
there's something
trying to
behind
persuade
the
him.
team
I'm trying to.
to the under.
No, because I just saw this other stat that
No.
the over had.
We've got a
the
good
over-
old fashioned stat off going.
Yeah, this one's a good one. The over
What?
and 5 of Kansas City's last 6 games against Philly has gone over. So that's
Corey,
a good
do you
stat.
understand what Alex just said? 147-1. That is unbelievable. I haven't
100.
heard like that ever.
No. Sorry, you're mishearing me. 100 wins, 47 losses, 1 tie.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
That-
you said
if it was-
100. I was about,
No,
do
no.
I have to go take out like all my money on my house, sell my house? I'm like, what is going on? I was blown away by that stat right there. More than
I got
anything I've
the
ever
good
heard in the
stats.
years we've done this.
My stats
I mean,
have
I
hard
still
hitting
think
facts.
that's pretty crazy because there's
It's
probably
still,
something
it's
behind
still
that.
a high hit rate.
Over 50%.
I was mind boggled for a second, but okay.
All right. Take the over, boys.
All right. Well, my lock is Nick's most recent pick. I'm taking the Broncos -2. Think everyone got fooled early on. Like you have some teams where early on teams are looking good and then they start to fall off and we call them frauds. But I think the Broncos are kind of the reverse of that. They started out bad and then everyone had this image of what the Broncos were, carried all the way from last year. And I think the Broncos are a solid team. Like, I mean, they're kind of probably already past, what's their record?
4-6. Or
Yeah,
5
it's gonna be
and
tough for them to make the playoffs, obviously, but
5.
they'll give it everything they
4-5.
have. And I think against the Vikings, who have won 5 straight, who they've played well, but so have the Broncos. They've been playing very well. They beat the Chiefs and the Bills. If that Dolphins game never happened this year, we'd all be talking about the Broncos defense as one of the better ones in the whole league. I mean, they've been pretty stout, pretty locked down these last few weeks. So the one way you attack the Broncos is on the ground with your running backs. And what do the Vikings? I mean, the Vikings might have the worst running back core in the entire league. I do not think Josh Dobbs can go into Denver, which Denver is one of the harder places to play, the altitude change and everything like that.
He's an astronaut. Altitude doesn't affect him.
You're right. I forgot about that.
He's rocking
So
the
maybe
space helmet.
Meaningless
going into
stat,
Denver.
PB. Keep moving.
I completely forgot about the that. Maybe he's already training with the altitude change, but for the rest of the team. And yeah, I think Russ Wilson will continue to look good like he has all year, and they cruise to victory here. This is my lock of the week. Absolutely love this spot for the Broncos.
I had my hand raised, but Alex took it down. PB, did you want to say sorry to me?
For what?
You laughed at me when I said the Vikings would roll off 5 straight.
No,
And
you
you
said the
said,
Vikings would make
no
the
way.
playoffs. You
He's
said the
been waiting
I said
Vikings
that-
would make
no,
the
for this
playoffs.
I
moment.
said they
You
would win
said
5
the
straight.
Vikings would make the playoffs. That's
no,
what you
what I
said.
said was they'll win 5 straight on their
And
way
make
to
the
making the
playoffs.
playoffs.
And
I
that's
said
the
5
part
straight.
they're not making the playoffs.
Well, I said 5 straight, and you know what? You laughed at me. Here we go.
Okay. No, I don't think they're making the playoffs.
Just want to let.
PB,
Just
he's
want to let
been
everyone
waiting
know.
5 weeks. Just give him his moment.
Well, the moment's not here until they make the playoffs. But
All right, let's talk about a team that
Uh,
is actually going to make the playoffs. My lock of the week, the Cowboys, -10. Need we say more? Dak Prescott looking like what everyone wanted him to be. Oh, let's hear it, Corey. Oh, it
No,
was
no,
the
it's your lock. Yeah,
Giants.
coach.
It was
It's
the
your lock. It's your lock.
Giants.
I'm not interrupting you. It's your lock. Go.
No, I know it was the Giants last week, but it proves that they can cover against a large spread. I don't think Carolina's any better or worse than the Giants right now. And they just beat them by like 20 something points out. I don't even know. I can't count that high. And, I'll just keep riding the hot hand. I think you got to play the cards on the table. And the Cowboys are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. So taking a -10 lock of the week.
No, I like the bet. I was scoffing at
The Dak comment. I know.
Yeah, I mean, they played the Giants. I would hope he would just tear them apart.
I'm trying to get
a
video.
lot of
likes
teams have
here,
played the
'cause there's a lot
Giants
of
this year, Corey.
Cowboys
That doesn't
fans.
mean every team did what Dak did.
In the situation that they're in now, where they're starting Danny DeVito, I would hope that they would just absolutely rickroll them, and he will look good, which they did.
I'm actually more impressed with.
He's looked
CeeDee
great
Lamb.
this whole year, or a lot of the year.
I think CeeDee Lamb is like the last 3 games to me. He's also in the conversation with AJ Brown as like wide receiver breakouts of this season so far. So he was making crazy one-handed catches and doing all sorts of
I
amazing.
mean, they're
stuff
using
out there.
CeeDee Lamb like Justin Jefferson right now.
Yeah,
Like
as they
he's not
should.
just like they're not using him like just like in a slot or like he's running routes everywhere,
Yeah,
and that's how they
awesome.
should use him.
Yep.
He's great. He's really good. So good to see.
All right. Bringing us on home, my lock of the week is the Seattle Seahawks and Los Angeles Rams over 46. You got the Rams coming off a bye, getting healthy. They get Stafford back. They beat this Seahawks team in week 1 by 20 plus without Cooper Kupp, who's obviously back now. But I think that Seattle team's a lot different. They didn't have Devin Witherspoon going into that game, which changes the defense quite a bit. But I just think both of these offenses are going to be rolling a little bit here. We saw what the Commanders were able to do against the Seahawks, and I think a healthy Rams offense is definitely a better team. And on the other side of the ball, the Seahawks offense, we all know the types of weapons that they've got. They're using Charbonnet now too, so they're adding to that backfield. And Kung Fu Kenny is looking like he has gained a step or two. That breakaway run was absolutely filthy. So I like both offenses here. I'm going to roll with the over as our final lock of the week.
Okay. Were both these teams coming off? Oh no. Seattle
Seahawks
just
just
played. I
played.
was okay. All right.
Sure about that?
I am
Well,
sure.
that will do it for our week 11 bet show. We'll be back for our DraftKings slate breakdown. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.